On your shoulder to come pay my bills. Sorry. Ever since I woke up this morning, that song, well, it's not a song, it's a TikTok or a reel. It's been on my mind. It's been on my mind. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's just how my mind works nowadays. It's like there's the to-do list, well, there's the things that I need to do, and then there's just random TikTok songs that are just going on in my head, like, I need a sugar daddy to come back. I think yesterday was, this is what we're not gonna do. This is what we're not gonna do. This ain't what we are. Anyways, good morning, guys. It's Thabi. Welcome back to the channel. All thousand of you. Can you believe it? There was a time I was talking to myself on this channel and I was just trolling all by myself, and then there's now 1,000 trolls on this channel. Anyways, today we're doing a sunscreen review. This is a new sunscreen, relatively new sunscreen. It's a low coverage. What am I saying? What am I saying? I'm talking to 1,000 plus people now. I need to get it together, Thabi. Get it together. Anyways, this is a new sunscreen. I think it launched in May. It launched on Instagram. It's a local brand. The name of the sunscreen is Nakolwethu. It is an SPF 30, broad spectrum UVA, UVB. It retails for 90 rands, and you can hit them up on their Instagram in the DM, or you can WhatsApp them and then they will facilitate the entire process for you. They also recently launched a website, which is wonderful for them. Bought this shy of 2 weeks, and I think now it's time we can talk about it because I want to move on to something else. And I don't want to wear the sunscreen today, but I'll wear it for you because I'm not washing my face again. My face is extremely sensitive these days. I think it's close to the monthlies. I never know when the monthlies are. Anyways, let's not waste time. I will not be going through the filters. You know how we do. It's just too technical. But I will say, like with any good sunscreen, you do need to reapply your sunscreen. That is especially the case with this one, because I did not see any stabilizing filters that will stabilize the other not so photo stable filters that they included in this. I hope I'm making sense. You do need to reapply. With this, you need to be very careful to reapply every 2 hours if you can. But we'll talk about the reapplication issue. So let me quickly show you what this sunscreen looks like. Let's do swatches quickly. This is what it looks like. It is very, very thick. It is very thick, but it's a thick, very smooth texture. It's very thick, y'all. It is a very thick, very smooth, easily spreadable texture. Nothing to complain about. Let me just quickly apply it on my face and then I'll show you. We'll talk about it. Yeah, let me show you how much sunscreen I apply actually, or how I apply my sunscreen, because I don't think we've done a video. I don't measure to 2 to 3 fingers. This is what I would usually go with. Let me just try and come close. This is what I usually go with. I don't know how much I don't know if it equates to the 2 fingers, but it's enough sunscreen. I usually wear the first coat, apply the first coat, and then let it sit for a good amount of time. Usually the first coat I will apply straight after the shower, because most of the days I don't have anything else under my sunscreen. I use the sunscreen as a moisturizer. So if I'm using the sunscreen as a moisturizer, I would apply it whilst my skin is somewhat damp, and then I will let that just penetrate and just get in, what am I saying? Absorb. Let that absorb for I think it's a good hour before I reapplied my second layer of sunscreen. So this would be the amount that I would apply as a first coat or first layer, and then before I leave the house I will apply a second coat. That's usually how I apply the sunscreen. I don't measure the 2 fingers, but I do think I use more. I use enough, guys. Let me just say that I use enough sunscreen. And whilst on the topic of sunscreen and reapplication, there's been a lot of talks with regards to how much sunscreen we should be applying or reapplying onto our skin. And then there's a YouTuber by the name of Tepo who did a reel where she was saying that we should be applying 2 to 3 fingers and then reapplying the same amount of sunscreen every 2 to 3 hours every day. I don't think I do not reapply that much sunscreen every day. Not only because I don't see the importance of reapplication. No, I definitely do understand why we need to reapply sunscreen. Firstly, most of us don't apply enough, pardon me, we don't apply enough sunscreen, and reapplication brings us close to that SPF that is claimed on the package. And then we also wear masks, we sweat, we hug people, and then the layer of protection, the layer that we had applied initially, is bound to get distracted with all of that action that's going on with our faces. So reapplication just reinforces the initial protection. So I definitely do understand the importance of reapplication. I just don't think I need that much sunscreen, but then again, it depends on what I am doing on any given day. So if I'm at the shop and I'm mostly, when I'm at the shop, I'm indoors and there's not much sunlight that comes in through the windows of the shop, so I don't feel like, I feel like there's something that's just stuck the corners of my mouth. Ooh, this is disgusting. Let me wash my hands. Anyways, as I was saying, I don't feel like I need to wear that, to reapply that much sunscreen, because when I'm at the shop, there's not much sunlight that's coming through. So I only reapply when I'm getting in the car to go run afternoon errands. And then when I'm in the house, I don't wear any sunscreen. Don't judge me. I don't wear any sunscreen, mainly because if I'm in the house, I'm mostly in bed, and there's also not much sunlight that comes through here. I mean, I even struggle to film with natural sunlight because it's just not that illuminated here. So I think that it's a stupid idea. I don't think that it's a stupid idea. I don't think that we shouldn't be doing, we shouldn't be doing it. I just don't think that I need to reapply that much every day. However much I need to apply is definitely going to be dictated by the activities that I have for the day, that I've planned for the day, and where I will be for the majority of the day. And that's my stance on it, and that's how I think you should approach it as well. You look at what it is that you have planned for the day, and then you decide how much sunscreen and how often you will be applying during the course of the day. That's it. So this is the first layer of application. I don't think I will be applying a second just now, but I do think that I do want to, let's just give it a couple of minutes. Let's just give it a couple of minutes to just absorb. The time now is 7:59. I think we'll come back around 7:15, 8:15. So the time now is 8:20, and this is what we're looking like after that first application. Just remember, I did apply a moisturizer this morning because, God, guys, it's 6:30. I know it wasn't even 6. I think it was at 6 that I took a bath. So this is what we're looking like after 20 minutes with moisturizer. I feel like I do want to reapply a little bit. Let me just step closer so you can see the sunscreen has set. It is looking less glossy, but I do still want to apply a little bit more so I can get my arms up, because they're going to be exposed for the better part of the day. So this is what we're looking like. Looking like this, you're fine, but I want more. I definitely want more. Let me come closer. This is what it's looking like. This is what it's looking like. So I want to apply just a little bit more. This is how much I'm gonna go in with, and then I'll show you again. We'll come back again in another 15 minutes. Yeah, this is what I'm gonna wear though. This is how much I'm gonna wear. So the time now is 12 minutes past 9. I've had the sunscreen on me for quite some time. This is what it's looking like after 2 very generous applications. We are looking quite glowy, quite radiant. So I think you can see that, and you will see as I'm talking about the sunscreen. So let's just wrap this up. I'm just about ready to head out to work. Let me come close so you can see. I'm just going to be two in your face. Alright, texture of the sunscreen and application of it. It applies very well on the skin. It feels lightweight, and it feels like, it doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything actually that's making me uncomfortable. It wears well with or without moisturizer, and it applies well on itself. It's not going to peel or ball on you with more reapplications. The only problem with reapplication that I experienced is that the sunscreen did start to sting the eye area with more reapplications. I think right now I even got it in my eye, so there is a bit of irritation here. Well, there's a bit of a nuisance that's going on around with this eye, because you saw when I was applying earlier, I got it in my in my lashes. So with more reapplications, it will start to sting the eye. There were days where I wore the sunscreen and I was fine. There was no stinging at all. And then there was just the one day where I wore the sunscreen and it was unbearable. But I think on the day when I'm trying to think back what happened that day, what did I do different, why did it sting on that day and when it did not sting on the other days, I think that day it was hot. It was a hot day and I think I was outside more, and I had applied the sunscreen more. I'd reapplied more than I normally would. And I think when the oils from the sunscreen start breaking down and my own oils start breaking down, that's when it starts being messy. And when it did, it was unbearable, guys. It was just one of those situations where I just want to go home and wash my face, because I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it. That's how bad it was. But that only happened once. I have dry skin and that only happened once. If you have oily skin and you wear the sunscreen, I foresee that happening a lot more often for you, because you're already producing a lot more sebum than normal, and the sunscreen being as thick and as emollient rich as it is, it will do what it did to me. It will break down a lot more often, and your oils, the sunscreen oils, it's going to be an issue for people with oily skin. That is the one thing I did want to explain clearly to you. I think I tried. I have no motivation to have you not buy this sunscreen. I also have no reason to push it down your throat. I'm not getting paid for this, but I did want to try and be as honest as possible, because a lot of you are interested in this sunscreen, and after the cast we want to know how it wears around the eyes. There is no cast, but it will sting the eye area on some days for people with oily skin, more often for people, some days for people with dry skin, more often for people with oily skin. Okay, looking at the way that this wears, I think it's going to be suitable for people with dry skin, but even people with dry skin may not be reaching for this during the hot summer days, like around February. I don't think I'm going to be reaching for this sunscreen, because it does get a little uncomfortable as the day gets hotter. So I don't foresee myself wearing it in the summer days. And then oily skin types, I think you'll only enjoy this in the hot days if you are wearing it with makeup. Under makeup, it wears beautifully. It stays in place. It does not shift your makeup. In fact, it makes your makeup last longer, and it makes your makeup just wear better, and it will save you a lot of money in primers. So oily skin types, I think you'll only enjoy wearing this sunscreen in the hot days if you're wearing makeup. Otherwise, this may be a sunscreen for you that you will wear in the winter or you use on your body. It's quite affordable, so I think you will not feel like you'll be wasting money on your body, on wearing the sunscreen on your body. Should you consider purchasing the sunscreen? Yes, it is a very good sunscreen. There is a lot more good going for it than the bad. It is a South African, black women owned. It is worth giving it a try. See how it performs on your skin. Finish the one tube, and then after the one tube is done, then you can decide whether you want to repurchase the sunscreen. It is quite affordable, I keep saying. For me, I think once the 2 tubes that I got run out, I'm going to continue to purchase the sunscreens, because I just like the way that it applies under makeup on days that I am wearing makeup. And it is quite affordable, so I can use it on my body as well. I really did enjoy the sunscreen. I just did not like that one aspect of it, which was the stinging. I hope I have explained it well for you, and I hope I have helped you decide to get the sunscreen or not. So, Nakolwethu Sunscreen, everybody. Have a wonderful day.